Welcome, people of the internet. Today, I decided to do something a little bit different than usual. I always was wondering why the gap between Artist and Dredge is so big in terms of strength. Their anti-loop is similar in terms of use, and on paper, they both seem like solid killers. Yet, Dredge is considered a low tier, while Artist is in the top ends of B tier. I wanted to find out why, and I got in contact with a known Artist main, who is my guest today.
Oh shit. Hi, I'm Alize. I'm a DVD streamer from the Netherlands. I am an artist main. I'm a killer main, but primarily an artist main. And I was really excited to do this today because I love talking about the artist.
Yeah. So, I invited you to discuss the topic of, how is it possible that if we look at the kids from, the ground up, Artist is a killer that puts something in a loop to pressure you in a tile. She has very good abilities to shut down a tile and either get a hit or force someone off a tile, right?
Yeah.
If we look at Dredge, Dredge's entire ability, I mean not entire, but a big part of Dredge's ability is pretty much the same, which is curious because they both have a similar part of their kit, but the rest of their kit kinda pushes one character to one side of the tier list, while the other is in the high end. So I think we could I think we could begin with a simple question of how is the community perception about the killer? How strong do you think people consider your character? How fun to face and play the character are? Yeah.
That is a good question, and that is something that I have thought of a lot because well, obviously she used to be a top 10 killer, close to release,
I would agree
was
with
so
that, yes.
good, and she dropped down so many tiers. Hearing you say top of B tier, I'm like, oh, my baby. But I think that is because she does have insane zoning potential. Technically, if you look at it with add-ons considered, you can have 4 birds and an add-on to make them stay up longer. And I kind of, no matter what you do as a survivor, you're kind of screwed no matter where you go. However, I don't think the community knows what she is capable of as a killer in general. I think most people assume her to be just a zoning killer. Well, she's ranged. I mean, she is a fully realized ranged killer. It's just that to play her in a non-zoning way is, first of all, very difficult. I think for the average player, it's she's not intuitive at all, in my opinion. If you look at Dredge, I find him way more intuitive than Artist.
I would honestly disagree. I would say Dredge is less intuitive than Artist.
Really?
Especially if you look at pub dredges, you have a high chance of for-outing a high a pub dredge because they either never use their power or use it in a such a kinda counterintuitive way. They either don't use the remnant or use it so badly that Dredge has a notoriety of being very weak because of pub dredges not really knowing what to do. So I personally would say Dredge is a bit less intuitive than Artist, especially with the fact you have one remnant instead of 3 crows, and you have a slower movement speed.
Interesting. But I do think they're kind of the same in that way. If you, I'm not a comp knower. I'm not at all. So
I barely played comp, don't worry.
Okay. Well, the thing is, if you look at the average artist in a pub setting, just in pub games, they are just gonna zone.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I mean with unintuitive. If you I like to play at a distance. I like to play my loops at a distance. I like to go cross map and snipe and do all that stuff. Somebody is not going to just learn that by playing her a couple matches, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need somebody to tell you or to show you what she can do before you find out, is kind of my perception of it. And I think that's also why a lot of people freaking hate going against her. Nobody likes to be zoned. Like I get it. Like I've played against super zoning artists and like I'm so sad. I'm so disappointed in you. Like please, do you not know what this killer can do? And ultimately, I think that's also where the gap in strength comes from because she's not just that, you know. Like Dredge has like a much simpler power.
Mm.
Not that I think it's simple to use. Not that, but like if you look
Yeah,
at
like there's less depth. Yeah.
yeah, there's less depth. Like Artist has a very, very versatile M2 and add-ons to, you know, like expand upon those
Artist
playstyles. Like
has add-ons in general, to be honest.
that is true. They're not all created equal, but she does like the ones that are good are like very, very good.
She has
You know what I mean?
variety. She has more variety.
She has variety. Like you have zoning add-ons, you have sniping add-ons, you have trick shot add-ons. You know I love my severed hands.
Yeah.
And who doesn't?
And I have
Of course.
I have like 4 number tweaks and 1 unique add-on. The rest
Yeah.
is just not usable. Just
Yeah,
useless.
no, that's very fair. But to be fair, she also has like a bunch of like add-ons where I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna be polite because this is your YouTube, but charcoal stick.
Oh, I know.
You know where that chick can be shoved? That stick can be shoved rather?
Yeah.
Where the sun don't shine.
Curious.
So like they're not all created equal, but you are right. She does have like definitely some good add-ons that actually like make a very good impact on the killer itself. And I don't know a lot about Dredge add-ons, but the ones that I do face, it's like mostly the same type of add-ons, you know.
Yeah, like I'm kind of surprised how like I don't like to create myself as like a all knowing person, you know, but like
you are to me. You are the Dredge person.
I mean, yeah, but like I don't like to like force people to run specific things, but like
yeah,
I see so many people just like run add-ons that haven't been strong since Dredge came out. Like I still see like people run field recorder boat key, and like I understand field recorder.
Yeah.
Field recorder is like top 3 in my opinion, but boat key is so irrelevant now. Like it's only uses like in endgame builds. I see people boat key increases your movement speed while teleporting and breaks all locks at the end of the game, like when the last zone pops. Which if you play Dredge regularly, which I assume you don't, but like that's why we're here to like educate each other. You don't need this extra movement speed. You are already like you have enough speed in daytime to teleport. You're like 90 meters per second, which looks
you did get
low.
A
yeah, we got a buff in 8.2.0, which I keep confusing with 8.1.0, but like that doesn't matter. And I see people like run lavalier microphone. Lavalier microphone reveals everyone's auras when you use the last token of the teleport. And if someone is close to a locker, the locker like slams its doors, which like seems fine. But you're not like, and then you go to a map that is in the midwich, and lockers aren't like everywhere. Like aren't like there's no zone in which you aren't in the range of this add-on. And then you get the info, but you cannot act on it because you have no tokens. So like people just really focus on running the purple add-ons when unfortunately the strongest add-ons at the moment are like just number tweaks, because like automatic writing removes 2 seconds of your cooldown in daytime, which will essentially guarantee that you will have your remnant every time you enter a tile after whoever switches a tile or you hit them. And Hades calendar just increases your like exit speed. So it's just like weird because like I'm not saying I'm like again like I have like the receipts for being like reliable with the character, but like it just feels so weird how like everyone just like runs like anything but the good add-ons, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's also a thing. Like, I think both Dredge and Artist are like I think fairly underrepresented in the community because there's like maybe 5 people that made Artist.
Yeah,
and
they're like
I'm gonna be very honest with you. I know like 2 people.
I know like Karn, you, Astral.
Yeah,
Perspective,
we're not
and
we're not that many.
That's it, I think.
Yeah, I think we're definitely very, very vocal. You know, the little bird flock, but there's not that many of us. You know, there's not like any like super huge content creator that is like, you know, that really focuses on artist content and stuff like that. And for Dredge, like even less.
I think in terms of like content creation, it's only me, and I know Hatstack, who isn't a creator, and I know Void. Yeah.
No, well, that's, you know, that's also a thing, and that's also I think why people don't know a lot about our characters. Because I'll admit, like I've played like a fair amount of Dredge. I don't know how many times I've used the Remnant.
Oh god.
To be quite honest with you, it's like for me, it feels like super clunky to use because I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And then, but to be fair, this is me. I'm not, you know.
Okay, that's fair.
I love a ranged killer. I'm like very used to the way that ranged killers work. So when I have to play an M1, I'm like, oh crap, I can teleport. I forgot that was a thing. You know what I mean?
For me, with like playing Arctis, it's like sometimes Arctis feels like Dredge Deluxe. Like I can do so many more things because I don't have the movement speed penalty. But sometimes it just feels like, how the fuck do you play this killer?
Exactly.
Like...
That's what. Yeah. No, like it's the thing is with her, like where do I start? Okay, because I have so many things to say about her. But first of all, like people do not know what she is capable of, but she is also incredibly punishing. Especially if you are learning, especially if you are not like if you don't have all the background knowledge that you need to play a character like her effectively. Like you need to put in hours. You need to know survivor movement. You need to know map RNG and elevations and hitboxes and collision and stuff like that. Otherwise, you're going to have a very miserable time because there are killers that do what she does in an easier way. I would say Dredge, for example, could, you know, if you're focused on zoning and anti-loop and stuff like that, then why would I not play an easier character like Dredge than put in all this work with Artist to end up getting 4-outed anyway? You know what I mean?
Well,
she is like a slow chaser. Like you need to hit your first swarm, you need to hit your second swarm, and then you have to do that all over again. But you have to keep your cooldown in mind because that cooldown is killing. So you can't use too many birds, but you know you want to make sure that you get a hit.
I was about to mention that. Like, in terms of the cooldown, like sometimes it feels like unknown, in which you have to use your like only one crow. If you're going for swarm hits over distance, you have like 100%. This tiny little gap to not get for them to not get rid of the swarm. And like 100%. As you mentioned with Dredge, like I can see why Dredge could be easier than Artist in like a zoning / anti-loop scenario, because like with Dredge you just place a quote-unquote portal. Like if we look at it literally, it's like a portal on one side, and you try to lead them into that side or use it to deny leaving the tile, I guess. Like leaving to a worse tile. With Artist, if you're not playing for direct hit, which could be way more difficult than getting for swarm.
Way more difficult,
yeah. If you're not playing for direct hit, you have to hit them twice and then pray you either don't miss or they don't get the interaction off in time.
Yeah, especially if you are playing at a distance, like you need to know where they are going.
And if you don't have the add-on for like longer swarm removal, because I think that's the thing. I don't remember what it was called, but
Velvet Fabric. That is Velvet Fabric. Yeah, is one of her best add-ons for sure. It's good for baby birds and you know, that's what I call new artist players, baby birds, and like advanced players. But that
I call them dredgelings. With Michael.
That is so cute.
We are the dredgelings. Locker.
Oh, that's really cute. But then it just, you know, it comes down to that skill that's something you gain after playing a lot of artists. Just trust. A year ago, I was still doing the bird and palette thing, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna lock the hell in, and I got my ass kicked many a times, but I think I got it down.
Yeah, like the thing with art killers is that like you cannot get good at them if you play them like once a week. You have to lock in. I want to play this character like for like 10 hours straight to understand the basics of the character.
Absolutely,
which is just
100% agree.
Kinda cool, but also kinda scary considering what behavior has been doing to Singularity and Night, for example, recently.
Don't get me started.
If they do that, I'm gonna crash out.
Yeah, it's like there's a reason why she's got such a low pick rate, and it's because I think, you know, she's just a difficult killer.
Yeah.
But I really do not want them
to
dumb her down or make her a little easier or whatever just for people to pick up. Because the thing is, yes, she is very difficult, but she is arguably the most skill expressive killer in the game. Like hypothetically,
in macro, I would agree. In macro, I would agree.
Yeah, for sure. Like hypothetically, the things
Maybe
that you
with
could
Knight on like sharing a slot, but I would agree. Yeah.
I have no idea about Knight, but I'll believe you.
I know Goose and Pixie.
Mhm.
Like to think of them as macro killers. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I chase this one person, and then I send Jailer to like keep someone
Yeah.
off a generator across the map and get like, like.
Well, that's the thing. Artists can
Yeah.
do that too. Like I've hit like trick shots in the middle of not to like prove my own horn, but like trick shots in the middle of a chase. She's so skill expressive. You can hypothetically like anything is possible with her, and that's
If you have
what
any
I love.
like clips, by the way, you can send me them and I put them up on the screen.
I have many clips.
Oh,
I have a lot of clips for you.
Whenever this topic comes into question, a clip is going to be on the screen.
Perfect. Okay, I'll send it after we finish.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I have so many. Shit, what was I talking about?
Trick shots in chase, I think. Or like
just,
macro skill expression in macro, I think.
Yeah, like it's just there's just so many things that you can do with her. Like just off the top of my head, obviously you can zone in like the 1v1 or whatever. You can shotgun, you can cross map, you can stagger shot, slingshot, whatever people want to call it. I hope it doesn't start a fight in your YouTube comments. You can you can chase two people at the same time. I have a clip of that as well. You're chasing a Sable and Ace at the same time and downing them, not downing them, downing and getting injured. You can hit doubles, triples. I have clips of that too. I don't think there's anything that you can't do. Yeah. And she's 150.
Yeah, like again, with the whole like dumbing down killers to make them easier. I am all for making Dredge 4.0 when he holds like the remnant because he's like 3.8 at the moment. But like it's like one of my most requested changes. But like if they go like 4.2 or 4.4, like anything higher, like okay, not anything higher, but like anything higher than 4.0, I think it's too much and would make the killer too easy. Because I want them to encourage interaction in a tile and people like actually mind gaming and not just getting a free hit because the thrower cannot do anything.
Right. Or otherwise they just W key away and then it's like, well,
if you have to
standing
like
there with the loop looking stupid.
it would like make a lot of more loops playable because like if you're good at the character, you can stop people from holding W, but sometimes you just cannot play. Like for example, the small boat on Pale Rose with the window. Yeah, you just cannot play that because there's like so much like length between the both edges of the window.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You just have to force them off it. So yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, going into another question. How do maps treat them? How many bad maps do they have? What aspects specifically make a map bad for them? Like blockers influencing use of recon birds and like, yeah.
I love this question. I really, really love this question because, well, we all know that swamp is garbage.
Yeah, we both have experience in that.
For everybody, but I think particularly our killers. I mean, they both have like, the locker interaction and stuff.
Yeah.
But from my experience, and I could be wrong about this because I mean everybody, it's completely anecdotal. When the survivors get rid of birds like cross map, you still know where they are. It's not like you necessarily lose anything because the thing is with artists, like even if you miss, you have like killer instinct, you have like even if they just get swarmed and you don't get the follow-up, where the survivor is, if they're like close to a gen or whatever.
That's why I like Iron Maiden.
See, I hate it for her.
What do you mean?
Okay, so I'm very M2 heavy and I love her M2 and I'm like, well, if I wanted to like play an M2 or M1 exposed killer, I would go play Myers. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
But that's a me thing. Okay. I think it's not worth it unless you're gonna run it with Garden of Rot, and I hate Garden of Rot.
I'm a filthy casual, okay?
You know what? I support you, but only because it's you. Otherwise, I would have yelled like, "Get
what the hell?
Take that off!" Oh my! Listen, okay, that's another thing. I will get back to your question in just a second.
Yeah,
but
you're good.
That's another thing. People here or have heard somewhere that like something is good for, like, this is like a general DBD annoyance, but
Mhm.
you hear from somebody, from like a content creator like 5 years ago, saying, oh, this perk is good on that and that. People just grasp it and just run with it. They just take it. They just go with it. Like,
The
for
Biffle on
example,
demo.
yeah, exactly. Stabiffle
When
on
it wasn't
demo,
even fucking good.
DMS on artist, change DMS. Like, DMS is still good because of like the meta currently, like paid
Yeah.
raise DMS, sure, but it's not as good as it used to be for her. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like, where you could just shoot a bird at any gen and they would all just close up. You know,
Yeah.
that was good for her, but it's not. And then I look at Twitter or I look at my games and I see DMS and I'm like, are you running that because you think it's good, especially if there's no pain res, or because somebody said so like 3 years ago and you can't let go of it? You know what I mean? Anyway, that's how I feel about that. Just kind of a little bit frustrating, but I mean, people, at the end of the day, people get to play however they want. I'm not
Yeah.
here to, police
Police
people's
that.
play styles, but I'm definitely here to educate.
Like you can do whatever you want, but this is not good. Like this
Yeah,
is just
like
like the worst decision you can
there's
make.
yeah, there's like better ways to play it, especially if you want to learn. But I digress.
Exactly.
Maps. So obviously swamp sucks. Anything that has like crazy elevation, I think for the average like artist player is just not it. Like, if like my personal hell is Haddonfield, which is a little bit out of left field, I think, but
Whoa.
especially if you get the like, it's such a great killer map, except for me. Especially if you have the spawn where you have 5 gens upstairs or not on like ground floor. Miserable. Absolutely
Yeah.
miserable.
If they keep that for like late game, it's sort of so bad
Yeah,
for you.
like, it's GG's. And then the thing is, it's so open, you can't hide the birds anywhere, because I like to hide my birds just so they don't see them coming, and then I can decide if I want to be patient with it or immediately shoot it. But the thing
Yeah.
is, they don't know where it's going to come from, otherwise you're just going to hold W key. I think what's also a little bit out of left field is that I enjoy RPD on her. But that's only because I know it so well.
I am surprised.
Yeah, I that is like very out of left field. One of my favorite maps for her is also Ormond, which is, yeah.
Whoa.
Maybe I'm the problem.
Huge.
But the thing is, I know RPD like the back of my hand. I know most of her collision, like, and there's like a couple really cool little trick shots that you can hit involving the elevation.
Yeah.
And people don't expect an artist to do well on RPD, which is always good for me. And
that definitely is the element of surprise.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely, it 100% works. And
the only thing I can think of at the moment is like, you can place the bird at the bottom of the stairs and it will just go up, because that's how the projectile at the beginning works, and I can see how it could take someone off guard.
Yeah,
but even then they have a big ass arrow in their face, so yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is also, like, the safety, like, deposit room, like and then the west office, and like go out of the west office and you can go up the stairs.
Yeah.
If you know the swarm hitboxes like decently, if they go up the stairs, you can still get a hit. And that, like, I love pulling off those little things, because again, I love the skill expression with this killer.
Oh, like these stairs on edge map?
No, the stairs like in main. You can still get like a swarm hit from
in the
them,
middle, like on the
okay. Yeah.
Like the locker room? Then, yes.
So you go through safety deposit, and then you go through the west office, and then where that little vault is, where like if they go out of the door and then go left up the stairs, you can still like get pretty cool shots there.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like the one, like the little vault on the small little stairs, and then you go up in the main building.
Yeah.
And there was another one, I'm like blanking on it. Oh, never mind. Outplaying God Palette. Outplaying the God Palette on the stairs is a lot of fun as well.
Yes, I can do that too.
Yeah, it's so much fun. You don't even need to break that thing. Listen, God Palette, my name's Alize. I don't care. God
I'm an
Palette,
atheist.
I will ego
I'm
it.
an atheist.
Yeah, exactly. I will listen. I will ego the crap out of Shaq or anything, like just to be like, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah, see the issue is you can play it on both sides. I can only play it on one side, from the bottom
that is
down.
True.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah. Well, that's that's the.
If they put a locker next to the statue on the top of the map, I am unbeatable on this map.
Well, well, I
If
hope they
there's
add one for
one
you.
locker, if there's one more locker next to that statue at the top of the stairs, I am winning that.
I hope they add one for you. Just one for you, and then it'll say on the top KMD. This locker is reserved
Yes!
for KMD.
The only locker in the map to spawn when one single specific pair on DVD is in the match.
Exactly. And the thing is, with lockers and artists, actually, I forgot to say this earlier. A lot of people really don't know how to use them properly. Like,
How to use them properly.
yeah, the only reason you should really is when you should like really use them is when there's distance. I cannot tell you, like, this might be my matchmaking in this game is what it is.
Yeah, it's
Um,
something.
it's something like most people that use them to begin with. Sometimes I think it's better to just take the swarm or steal the bird, but it's a conversation for later. Most people do it when I have like mid distance on them and they don't get the animation off just in time, and I could very easily yoink them out of the locker. Like, there's no reason that you should be doing that in chase unless you're like Shack or something, you drop Shack pallet and I have to break it and you like jump into the locker to get rid of them. Because Shack is like a fairly easy tile to play for artists, even without pallet, even with breaking the pallet. But even then, if they do like get rid of it, first you get the loud noise notification, so you still have like an inkling of where they are. You get killer instinct in lockers as well, of course. So if they stay in there, I like to put up my little bird and shoot it through the locker, see if there's somebody in there.
Oh, I forgot you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, it's like one of my favorite little things. Killer instinct. My instincts are telling me you were in there. But even if they, do it at like a mid distance or like cross map, you're still keeping them busy, which is ultimately kind of the point. Harassing people with
It's passive
birds.
slowdown. Yeah.
Yeah, it's passive slowdown. Yeah, so I personally don't mind it as much, but it can be like a very, very frustrating part of her kit. But I mean, she is ultimately very counterable.
Yeah.
But I digress. I digress.
Yeah,
I have so many things to say about her.
No, you're good. That's the point. With Dredge, like how this is like Swamp is like an odd map because like locker wise it's pretty okay. Like everywhere you need a locker, you should have it. That's not like on Grim Pantry and like Payload, you don't have it like really in the middle, I would say, but like the maps are like kinda small, so I guess you can like access them, like access stuff where you want. And still, like you're like a 4.6 killer, so it should be fine.
On Grim Pantry, I think there's lockers in like near every structure, right? You have them on the pier, the little building, the big building. You have them on small boat, big boat.
Yeah. You have them pretty much everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, I've never thought about that, but that's like pretty.
But like
pretty decent.
The issue with it is that it's swamp. Like every killer kind of struggles on swamp. Dredge has an advantage kinda over the rest of the cast, even though the maps are still ass. You can play Poglog. That's the only advantage you have over every single other character in terms of anti-loops on this map.
Yeah.
Everything else is like either the same as every other map or small boat on Pale Rose.
How would you go about that? Like outplaying Poglog?
You lead them away, like make them like hold W in the way that isn't to Shack, but in the corner of the map. Or like to the pier. That's the only solution I have for that. If you lead them to Shack, I guess you can play Shack because if it's facing like the edge map, the window, it should be fine. But if the window is facing the middle of the map, you need to just lead them to the corner of the map or like struggle for the next 2 minutes.
Real. Interesting. Yeah.
In terms of like,
I appreciate it.
In terms of like other maps, you not only struggle like you have 2.5 powers with Nightfall being the 0.5. Even like your worst maps, you should still be fine because like Rotten Fields is really a good example of that. You have like
I love Rotten Fields.
Like it's kinda inconsistent in terms of locker spawns, but the tiles are so shit that you
Yeah.
can just play them very simply. Same with
So
Shelter
bad.
Woods. My hatred
Mhm.
for Shelter Woods is unmatched. I have this map. I think it's the worst designed map in history of DBD.
I don't disagree.
Um,
However, Forgotten Ruins exists.
yeah,
Well, it's better for Dredge than for Artist, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah,
See,
no, that's
on Shelter
much
Woods,
better even.
by the way, I counted, outside of basement, you have from 7 to 12 lockers at all times available. The map is really big. However, the caveat is that the tiles are so shit outside of main that you can easily play them.
Yeah, that's
So,
fair.
like, if they lead you to main, which is accessible from most sides of the map, you just have to give up. But, like, everywhere else, you should be fine. And
I mean, that's also kind of the point of a main building, right?
another
want it to be
thing that's a
strong.
mess is you can get, like, destroyed by maps that have little lockers, and you can also get destroyed on maps that have too much lockers. Imagine you're chasing
Interesting.
on Greenville. You're near the like the monument, like the statue in one side of the map, and you're like going towards the shack, ish, like a bit to the right of the shack, like to the middle area, and you see that a survivor is running next to a locker. Oh, I will teleport to that locker to catch them off guard. You teleport to the basement of the main building.
Yeah,
Because the lockers are just stacking over each other, so you just have to like take 2 minutes to look at someone, like look at the locker specifically to not over teleport.
Oh, that is very annoying.
Yeah.
What would you say is like the sweet spot of amount of lockers? Is there like a number, or is there rather like
I have
an
a
area where
pattern.
you would rather have them?
The best like type of map in terms of lockers is like you have lockers in every single quarter of the map and in the middle. And like their objectives and key spots. Point of reference is Ormond Lake Mine. For example, and like Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I would say.
I was thinking Freddy Fazbear's
These are
Pizza.
like
I love
most
that
like
map.
Dredge compatible maps. I don't think they're the best ones, but they're like the most like fitting
The
with the
least
design.
annoying, the less inconvenient ones, least inconvenient ones.
Yeah. Surprisingly, his best map is the game.
Wow.
Not Midwich. Because like yeah, all of the tiles are shit. Every got pallet you just need to break and it's useless. You can zone really easily. You don't need the like a lot of lockers upstairs because realistically the only ones you need is next to the gates, and the top floor is so shit to play for survivors. You can mostly manage it.
Yeah.
And you can just stay on the bottom floor and you can just win.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I absolutely cannot cope with Gideon. Like I would much rather play like 10 games on RPD.
Well, yeah, because elevation.
Gideon. Yeah. But like out of all like the maps that do have elevation, like Gideon is my least favorite. And not like the palettes I don't care for. Like virtually you can play every single palette.
Yeah.
If I do my best enough, like you can. But there's so many staircases. There's so many staircases, and I don't want my bird to go that way. I want it to go the other way. Because, like, the thing also is with RPD over Gideon, both floors are, like, big enough to be played separately. You know what I mean?
You have, like...
And it's not just constant going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You know,
you have,
that's my thing with Gideon.
4 staircases on the entire map.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that bad for her. You know, it's just the middle part's a little bit annoying. You just have to know how to outplay it. But Gideon is just constantly up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I'm sick. I'm sick when I place a bird because you have that little...
too.
Yeah, you have that little palette, the one that's like the staircase going down and opposite side of the top of the staircase. And I go over there, or like I go a little bit to the side of that, like if you're standing like on the staircase, just so I can place my bird a little bit to the left of the path, just so I can, you know, like get my swarm because they're gonna go there anyway. The bird goes down and I scream. That's my gripe with Gideon, because it's not the worst, but it's just so many staircases that cuck me. But then again, there's also like the fun shoot hit that you can hit, like the little...
Oh, I love the shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
I love watching Pyramid Heads do it.
You can
So
place the
fun.
remnant in the chute and like
You can?
you can because the remnant records your entire position, including verticality and camera position. So if you
Sick.
vault, you leave your remnant in the chute, and they don't pay attention. You can lead them to like you can like walk towards the cooler room to like take
Mm-hmm.
that out of the way. If they go to the pallet and they run it, the second they leave the pallet to run towards the cooler room, you press M1 to teleport and you can just Batman on them.
Sick. That is sick. I love that. That makes me so happy. I love skill expression. Like, doesn't matter what killer it's on.
It's
I love
really
skill expression,
inconsistent,
like
but it's
funny
really
little things.
funny.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. It's just like, when Trapper, like you place a trap down in the chute and you just hope they don't see it and
Yeah.
then bam, profit.
If you're facing rank 20s, it's really consistent though.
Yeah, exactly. Well, DBD matchmake.
I love using 2020 vocabulary.
So silly. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Ah,
Oh, that's funny. I'm very tickled by that. I really enjoyed that. I didn't know you could do that with Dredge. Because
yeah.
again, I don't know much about Dredge, so this is also for me.
Yeah.
That's fun. Maybe I'll give it a shot one day. Why not?
You should.
I'm
Play the
a
Dredge.
big pro. Still have to finish this achievement, I think.
You want to play the Dredge so bad, ooh.
the gif of the dog.
Yeah, the fucking Mr. Peabody, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna play the Dredge.
Anyway,
I love that.
another question I got for you. How big of a problem are connecting tiles for them? Do they have a way to limit the strength of the W key? Which tiles do they excel at? And which ones they need to get out of ASAP?
That's a good one. So the thing is, what you can do with her, like I think of like maps like Larry's, like you have 400 windows and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But this is more beneficial to her than anything, I think, because first, what you can do with her, what you can do with Huntress is cheese the hit on a window. Because they're gonna vault, they're gonna reset the birds. You can set one up and just, get like the free hit kind of.
Yeah.
Which is also why I love Larry's for her, because people just keep resetting their birds, which is also a thing that you ideally want to force the survivor to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really fun. I think that's like she's very good with that. But I had this game on Suffopit the other day where it was like 3
I hate
windows.
Dredge and The Artist.
Oh my god, don't get me started. Don't get me started. There was like this, that one tile that has like a window one side with debris in the middle and then it against a wall. I
Is
have
it
no idea what
in
it's called.
main building? Or
No, it's just like one of those like Macmillan things that can spawn.
pillar
I have no idea what it's
tiles?
called. I guess like sometimes there's like a gen in it, but it's a window, and then there's a pallet up against the wall and against some debris on the other side.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you know
know
what I
what you're
mean?
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was one of those, and then right next to that was one of those tiles that has one window on the left side, and then right in front of you, a little bit to there's another. If for
TNL, I
some
would assume. That's a TNL?
no, not a TNL. It's like I'm sorry, I have no idea what
No, you're
these
good.
tiles are called. Um, it's also one of those. Well, obviously, like one of those Macmillan ones, but it just has 2 windows. Is it basically like they're not always like rotated the same way. 2
Mm-hmm.
windows. So
Okay.
that palette and 3 windows. I said I gotta go. I can't do that. I cannot keep up with that. Like it was a very slippery survivor. And they are very fun to outplay or to try and outplay because you have to rely on your skill of predicting and tracking to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But with such a slow chase that she has, it's never going to be worth it unless you don't throw in for chases or really trying to learn, But I was like, listen, I'm going to spend 5 minutes on this chase and I can't afford to do that, especially not stuff pit. Freaking map is huge, which is usually not. I enjoy cross map. But setups like that are nasty. Very, very nasty. I enjoy it more than even if I'm not like and W key, and I'm like, I get them at a distance, and they don't learn. You know how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
But those are very, very strong against her. I would say. But then again, if you look at a map like Liz, and you're just vaulting every window willy nilly and resetting your every time,
Yeah.
that's I think that's like very free against artists. I don't know how Dredge is in that. Like if you have like a crazy freaking file like that, Suffolk RNG is crazy.
Yeah.
Suffolk RNG is garbage. Yeah. So how's Dredge like that? Yeah.
On top of it, surprisingly, like I don't know what's with the RNG of DVD, but like Suffolk is such a rare map for me. I really get like really put on it, but like I would say you should be fine. I would say like there's a similar map who has this issue. It's Azarov's resting place. The middle is sometimes so hard to play if you get a wrong tile roll. It's just so weird. Going back to Wilderis a bit, there's maps on which Dredge can play normally, but there's some maps you just need to hit and run to like get the most effectiveness. Like you just need to injure people and leave them, to pressure someone else, and just pressure the entire team.
Also good for Nightfall, of course.
Yeah, to farm Nightfall too, because like optimally you need like at least 2 people to be injured out of the 4 survivors to get like optimal gain. Laris and Midwich, for example, are good are like good examples of maps that need you to hit and run. Because like Midwich is a bit more like meta, because meta as in like
this is not
directly related to the game, but like in the mindset of the survivors. People know Midwich is really strong on Dredge, so they will be like sitting on gens and never letting go of them.
Yeah.
So you need to you need to pressure everyone because people are scared of a Dredge on Midwich. And Laris has very weird setups that you can or cannot play depending on how luck just helps you.
That's also always a thing, luck, yeah.
And the vaults. If you have a life player on Laris, you are going to suffer.
GG's.
Especially if they have visual, it's like you're never getting them. Pressure everyone else. So like
the artist doesn't,
so this is like kind of an example of what you can or cannot play depending on RNG. And again, the swamp example of the small boat on Pedro's. If there's like a very long loop that isn't pinned against a wall or like leading to a like if a long loop isn't like pinned to a wall like on edge map, you need to get out of there, because like for example with poglogs are mostly in the corners of the map, so you can play those like because you can just pin them to the wall. If there's a long loop, like again the boat, you just need to lead them away from it because you cannot play it. It's way too much time. And like with the boat is also the fact that this like T-shaped, while poglog is mostly a straight line with a curve. If a loop is just like long and T-shaped like that, you cannot play that, because they always get way too much distance to play it. Like in a way that you win. I would say that's the kind of style you cannot really play.
Good to know.
Yeah. Is there anything in your stats that is very minor but is holding the killer back? Like movement speeds, cooldowns?
Boy, do I have... Okay, so... Right. So, my thing is, her cooldown is extremely punishing. Like we said earlier, you have... Like, the one crow thing is, in my opinion, the best way to play her, because if you
are original unknown,
yeah, exactly. If you are... I mean, it's true. Like, they're both super punishing because you have such a long cooldown.
Yeah.
3 birds every time. You are never going to catch up because that cooldown is way too long for you to do anything. You know? That's why I run Festering Carrion. I don't think I've taken it off in 2 years. I can't lie to you.
I love Festering Carrion.
I think it should be base game, like, wholeheartedly. I think she just needs some number tweaks just to make it less punishing. Now, I will say they have, I think this was when they were fixing her, they have made her movement speed penalty a little bit less, which I assume was intended, because they then went on to like buff all her, or not buff, fix like all her major buffs and stuff that I worked with one of the community managers with to get it onto QA. Yeah, trust, I go hard for this killer, man. I really do. But like, if you don't have festering carrying and you use like 2 crows and chase, for example, I don't like to worth it. That's 9 seconds of a cooldown. The survivors like repelling is only 8 seconds or something like that. I don't even know exactly anymore.
I can check that real quick. I have the wiki open.
Yeah, like you're not gonna have enough time.
Yeah, it's 8 seconds. 8 seconds.
So when you like shoot out 2 crows and your cooldown is 9 seconds, hell time 8 seconds, you're never gonna catch up, and you're gonna have to do the entire thing again. So festering carry and thick tar is definitely her most common combo, and I think also her best. I just could never take off severed hands. But it's just so incredibly punishing because you have to be lazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think like her cooldown is extremely punishing. Her movement speed not. But I will say I that didn't bother me too much because again I'm comfortable playing at a distance and like trying to rely on my skill of this killer to get them like mid map stuff like that. But this is something that's very difficult for baby birds, for like new players or casuals. Watch some people play her sometimes, and I'm like, oh, please stop putting up that many birds. That's not good for you. That's not gonna work for you. And even then, if you're like a super zoning artist and you use them to shut down like every single exit of the loop, like maybe like a pallet gym on Coldwind or whatever, you shoot him, you miss, you have nothing. You're M1 for the next 12 seconds,
M1 lady with encumbered, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, some of my friends like tease me and say that you're punished so much for like using your power, and I'm like, please, trust me, she's not. But it's that's one of those things that makes her so incredibly difficult. I think tiny little number tweaks could just make her that like a little less punishing. Like if you look at Unknown, for example, they kind of have the same premise, but I think Unknown's cooldown is even longer than yours, and you just have one UVX, of course. But if you miss, then it's GG's. Like, or if they get the thing off, like you have to again start the whole process of that chase all over again. You have to get them weakened again. They have to wait for that long ass cooldown, and then you have to hit it. And if you don't, then it's just that over and over and over again. And that's something about her that is very frustrating.
I feel that.
Yeah. But I like, like it's just, the thing is, I think it's okay for things to be difficult, and I wouldn't want them to like change her too much to where she loses that, because you work for it, you get the good shots, it helps you grow your intuition for her, because a lot of things like with artists you have to feel for. I would say like something like the predicting survivor movement, you have to feel it, and you have to like kind of calculate in your head and be like, okay, at this point they're running this fast and they're going there, so I have to shoot it now. I think the thing that a lot of skill is involved is okay, and I felt that way about Singularity and stuff like that as well.
Requesting number tweaks is like off, because like sometimes if they decide to actually go through with them, they can also for some reason also decrease some stuff. Elephant in the room making active 4.4. Like I don't know how it's with artists, but like for me, I think Dredge has nothing to nerf. You can only buff him. I don't think there's anything problematic in terms of like stats for Dredge in a negative way. For Dredge specifically, what is very minor but is holding him back, movement speed again. Like when you're holding Remnant, you're 3.8, and for a killer that was, I would assume
4.8.
3.8.
Why would it be 4.8? Why did I ask that? Jesus Christ. Of course it's 3.8. Sorry, I'm very tired.
Again. But again, like, if you're making a kit for a character that is mostly used with mind gaming in mind, why not make the movement speed the same between two participants of the mind game to make it more like battle of the brains and less,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely understand what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because I mean, if you look like the average game, a lot of people aren't going to put that much thought into it. It's just the dedicated mains, you know.
Exactly.
Most casuals are just like, oh, I'm just going to play this. I'm just going to prop the remnant here. I'm just going to
They don't know.
pop this bird here.
Yeah.
So that's like also difficult to balance around, right?
Yeah.
Because like 4.4 artists wouldn't bother me, but like the casuals are gonna be like, what the fuck? What reason do I have to even play this killer? You know?
Yeah. Like the strategy you use on Dredge to like find out how you place the remnant, I call it LADS or LADS for short. You basically
Alize.
Oi. Like the first like step is to look around. Whoa, LA to see what tiles connect to one the survivor is going to loop. Like you're on a TNL wall, there's a jungle gym next to it, and there's like a filler path tile next to it. You decide which scenario would be worse for you. Either someone goes to tile A or tile B, and the last step is to sandwich the survivor with your remnant if they decide to stay. You place it in a way that blocks out the worst option and then lead them towards the remnant, and then either lead them away to the worst tile or gain a hit and play the worst tile. Even though, like, it's complicated, but like, even if you play it in a way to like get the hit primarily, and you guarantee that they will not leave the tile, they could. There's an option that they will go to the tile you didn't want to go to. You wanted to block off. But if you positioned yourself well, if you just hit them and they don't run through you, but instead they go, like, they turn 180 to run away from you, they will go towards the worst style.
Yeah, that's
for
what
them,
I was going to
not
ask.
for
like,
you.
Yeah, like what do you do if they fake it? And then you know,
if they like are faking going towards it, like they're juking away from it, you just wait for the first juke and then teleport on whenever they commit to it. Again, like, an important part is not use the same mind game twice.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It will be predictable.
Yeah,
so like,
you have to adapt. Yeah.
Yeah, if they juked, the next time they will not juke and just commit to it. So you have to like pre-TP.
Yeah, that's something I've like seen a lot, and that very much so annoyed me when I was like starting to get good at her. Is that people would just not adapt to what I was doing, and that just stressed me out so bad. Because like if I'm chasing a survivor, I'm like taking note of their movement and their like how they position themselves, where they stuff like that. But I've had like a lot of people like this. Like also kind of goes back to people hear one thing about a kill and then they just stick with it, like W key. Well, I mean, if you keep W keying, I'm still gonna very easily predict where you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I tell people like the best way to counter artists is be unpredictable. Sometimes I have, excuse me for being rude about it, but I just have genuinely bad survivors in because they've got like 20 hours. Again, matchmaking. And they have no freaking idea what the hell they're doing because their movements is bad, but they're countering me.
Yeah,
because they're being very unpredictable.
It always happens to me too. Like the 20-hour Andes that run into a wall always counter me because I don't expect that.
Because you expect them to be like somewhat decent at least, you know.
You have those like,
hours.
You have those optimal patterns of movement in your mind, and you play around them, but like they just don't do that.
And when I was learning, like I used to be a survivor main before I switched over to being a killer main, which is why I picked her up like fairly quickly because I know survivor moves. I used to, you know, play so much survivor. So I expect them to like, because I like kind of base it off what I would do, you know, like it. And then when they don't do that, I get stressed out because they're countering me on purpose, and that gets me because if you're countering me because you're better than me, 100% love that. live your best life, diva slay. But if you're countering me because you have no idea what you're doing, I hate that. I hate it. I hate it so much. But I feel like that's like probably also like a thing with Dredge, you know, because you are like kind of banking on that prediction of when they're like
you're banking on the pattern that you are like, you know,
exactly, yeah. Oh, maybe they are more similar than I thought. Because when you messaged me, I was like, "Hell, what do you mean similar?" But I was just like thinking about it, like, is it really that similar? I was just thinking of like the zoning, map dependency.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the you know like the close up play and stuff like that was
on paper they are like kind of different. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. We're learning a lot today, I think.
Is the power of the character limiting their build potential in terms of perks?
No, I don't think so. Not for her, because well, my thing is I don't like to run M1 perks on her. Because I ideally would like to play with as little as M1 as possible. Just, you know, that's my personal thing, just because I love her M2 so much.
Yeah, I would say that's like kind of suboptimal. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't like, in theory, like there's nothing stopping you from running sloppy insert. You know, like I mean, I'll be very upset about it if you do.
I saw people with Surgeons the Biffle on Blight.
I am going to scream. I mean, okay, Stabiffle is like one of those that like is actively like hurting you when you use it.
Stabiffle can work on Blight if you're playing Monotech Brutal Blight, okay?
Yeah. I mean, there's okay, yeah, I have seen some Stabiffle artists, and I will keep to myself what I think of that. But you know, I don't think like in general, I don't think there's like limitations.
There is this one YouTube video, like I'm not gonna mention by who it is because like I'm kind of making fun of that video, but like essentially like which killer to run Stabiffle on, and they like run and they rank every character by like how well quote unquote they use Stabiffle. Guess which characters are in the top?
M1s?
Demogorgon, Wesker, and Nemesis.
Yeah. Wesker?
Yep.
Nemesis? What? What are you talking about? A demo, so I guess old Stabiffle on demo was good, but like you have okay, good quote unquote. Like the community thought it was good, but it's like, well, just go play an M.
Like Shred is always better than like M1 in most situations.
For sure.
If you're running Blackheart, you can just like replace your M1 with Shred because you have a base kit Stabiffle on your power.
Yeah. No, like, for sure. But like just because Stabiffle had like such a grip on demo and Deathslinger that people like you would not see
Deathslinger was actually good on. Deathslinger was actually good on
sure.
because like your M2 wasn't consistent in, like you could just like damage them with the chain, but it was like realistically if you're running Stabiffle on you can just like use your M1 with the chain because it counts as an M1 if you hit someone on the chain. The only like M2 quote unquote that's like real is like the chain break. So, like it did work with that because you can like just run Stabiffle with double reload and just do tap people. Now people switch to running Cigar and reload, and it's basically the same.
No, fair enough. Oh, that was crazy actually. Like the fact that the Stabiffle nerf like kind of cooked half the Deathslinger community.
It's so funny that they did that he loses stacks on like hitting the spear, not even damaging.
Yeah, no, it does the same on.
They just fucking hate his guts, bro.
Yeah, a little bit sad because I feel like Peepaw needs to help a little bit sometimes. He's very strong, but I feel like you either like completely roll or you get rolled.
Like he can play basically almost every single tile in the game, or like at least get an injury out of it. But like he's a 4.6, 4.4 guy with sometimes, and
a bad leg.
Yeah.
But yeah, to get back to the question, I don't think like generally there's anything that's like bad except like Stabiffle.
See, it's the complete opposite for Dredge because you have like 4 separate categories of perk you cannot run.
Really?
And like they like okay, one of them is just like no, this doesn't synergize with your part, but you have like 3 types of perks that just don't work on your character if you play them correctly. You cannot run stealth perks because you have basically stealth, so running stealth on Dredge doesn't make any sense. Because you're quiet in the locker, you just like alert people that you're finished teleporting. And there is like a small visual cue when you teleport, but like it doesn't really matter because it's like really subtle. So there is literally no point in running stealth. You cannot run stun perks because if you play this correctly, you will never get stunned ever unless you go for a short swing. Do you know what a short swing is, or do I have to like?
I know what a short swing is. Yeah.
Okay.
I am one sometimes. When I have to.
Yeah, another thing about our characters, you can actually like you have an M2. I have to M1 at the end of the day. Yeah.
Your M2 is a means for the M1. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, like you don't get stunned if you play this character correctly.
Yeah.
There are radius perks.
Be said about artists, to be fair, but
there are radius perks. Again, you cannot use. You don't have a radius for most of the game, so.
But I feel like so the thing is like you could like run stealth on artists if you want, but she's so loud, and Dredge is also like incredibly. She's so loud. Like you can't like drop off anything behind the survivor.
The only killer in the game who has a falling sound.
Yeah, she is. Like you can do it because like my friend, Fresh Perspective, he likes to do like the eerie feather and then do a slingshot and then run up on them, and it works. But I feel like you can't like, or I personally, I can't like get like consistent values. Like, she's so fucking loud. Like maybe with Miss Fucci, but then the thing is she's so tall. you see that big ass bird woman coming from a mile away,
Yeah.
And I feel like I have like definitely like faced dredges that have like a stealth build, like a fun build, but he's so loud you hear him coming from too.
Like
it's a little fart cloud. Like I know they lowered the sound, but I still think he's very loud.
Fart cloud is crazy.
Fart cloud, like when he drops down a height and he just goes whoop.
Man, it's again like when I see dredges with like stun perks, like not stun perks, stealth perks, I am implying you have lavalier microphone and there's a streamer in the lobby as a survivor because you're farming clips of like jump scares.
Right.
Again, that is like pretty much the only reason you can run lavalier microphone. Because loud noise scary or something.
Yeah. No,
and the category that is like technically you can run it, but it doesn't have synergy with your power. No, Iron Maiden, Darkness Revealed, and Ultimate Weapon don't work on locker entrances and exits. If you manually enter a locker by pressing E in front of a locker, that doesn't trigger any of the perks.
I wonder why that is.
Well, Ultimate Weapon wouldn't work if it did, because you lose the turn radius when you enter a locker. So, and the other ones, I don't know, genuine. Like, it's not considered a search action, I guess. Like, if you enter a locker with someone inside of them manually with the E, like if you're in front of a locker and you enter it with E, or not E, with like the secondary action button, right? And there's survivor in there, you play the animation of searching the locker and catching someone, but it isn't a search action technically, so it just doesn't work like that, I guess.
See, if I were a dev, I would like make that like a little like extra interaction because he is the locker killer.
That's the only buff we will get ever, trust.
Well, that like seems very logical to me. Like, why?
Yeah, like again, it's there's also like an odd thing with like some perks on Dredge, because you have, for example, Whispers or Devour. You are considered like the ranges are considered when you start and finish the teleport. So like in progress of a teleport, it doesn't consider your location to be moving, and it only like works on when you actually finish. Same with batteries included. But for some reason, Nurse's Calling doesn't do that, and your range traverses with you. So if you just teleport across the map and someone is healing in your path, you can see their aura.
That is so weird.
And I think that also works with Nowhere to Hide, but I didn't test that mostly. I think I just remember seeing that in a game, but I'm not sure. The perks are so weirdly coded for this character. Some perks do work like that.
It's just the inconsistency of it.
Yeah, I think it's inconsistent.
I mean, at least the thing with the inconsistency in DBD is that they're consistent with that.
They're consistent with the inconsistency.
Yeah, they're very consistent with the inconsistency because there's no reason why that shouldn't be streamlined. Like, also, if you look at killer power, like in front of hooks or whatever, some killers
Yeah.
can powers in front. Like, why can a Bubba use like face camp with a chainsaw and I can't pull up a fucking bird to go, swarm my barbecue across the map?
Well, you see, on this one barrel next main on Grim Pantry, you can place a bird on top of it, and it will go inside the main building top floor. So you should stop complaining, entitled killer main.
Real. The bad thing is that that's like actually what most people sound like. Jesus, can a girl just want some consistency across the board? Crazy. Wild. What would you say are like the best perks for Dredge then?
Oh, cool.
What is something that you like to?
I love cool.
Cool. Cool's great.
It allows so much more versatility with your power. It's insane. Rapid is also pretty good because when you teleport to the remnant, you lose bloodlust and you reset the timer, so it's just a flat buff. Surprisingly, Dark Arrogance, since again you never get stunned, so you just get flat 25% volt speed.
Oh, that is nice. Oh, interesting.
And Gift of Pain, since they either give you Nightfall or they get red bar for the first hook. Target Compass is his best info perk by far. Even without Scorch Hooks, it's such a good info perk.
Yeah, I think Jagged Compass is such a great freaking perk.
And I'm also addicted to Languid Touch because I hate exhaustion. But with visual currency in play, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. No, that's very valid, yeah. Oh, the life of a killer, main. It's so fun over here, don't you think?
I love the game being unplayable. I love the most fucking, I love being in the most, terrible state the game has ever been in, debatably.
I love dreading booting up my favorite game. Yay.
Can they please record the game already?
Yeah,
I think we're at the point in which the two-piece suits at the top of the behavior company. I think they might have noticed that. I think they should notice that the game is in a bad state because I don't think we had a buggier patch, and I play since Oni.
Yeah, that is
debatably Twins launch, but I don't think it was that buggy because
I wasn't there for that. I wish I was because I hear everybody talking about.
At the time, I would say the balance of the game is worse now than it was at the time. Maybe it's a hot take, but if we
I see what you mean. No, I see what you mean.
If we look in context, the Twins patch didn't break the balance of the game with a new perk, but it was so buggy that it was horrendous. But the Walking Dead patch, it broke the balance of the game with Conviction, Last Stand, and everything else being changed.
Oh my lord!
The game is entirely unplayable because of the bugs. So I would say it's a really 2 for 1.
No, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair assessment.
Anyway,
and Aurella's patch was also a bit of a rough spot, especially because it was again the game is half broken again so soon after.
I love Aurella so much as a character, but Geralt.
Yeah, her patch was.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it was rough. Yeah, that's when artists broke. That was not a fun time for me. And my fellow birds.
Since that patch, when you M1 a locker to break a lock, the animation is delayed by half a second. It looks so weird.
That's infuriating.
It doesn't have any impact on gameplay, but it's so annoying.
Yeah, no, that would annoy me. That's her delayed swarms. It's also delayed. I could still play her normally, but it's very off-putting. It's very, very confusing.
Yeah.
Just because the animation is just not. Yeah. BD, I love you. Please.
Anyway.
Anyway, we're off track.
What is the state of their add-on department? Are they limited to very few add-ons or or is most of them viable in play? How much variety do they have?
I think when it comes to add-ons, she's okay. Assuming we're not talking about charcoal stick. Assuming we're not talking about charcoal stick, there's some nice utility life.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of her Eries. I do understand Eries are supposed to change your playstyle and stuff like that.
I mean, technically not really. Like, it isn't like engraved in the big rule book of behavior that they have to like make
fair.
and doesn't. But like,
But
there,
it
like,
feels like
if we go
most of
like
the
by
Eries,
rarity, technically the rarity should correspond in strength, but they're never consistent on any killer.
That is true. That is very true. Because I don't think Garden rocks
Debatably,
down at all.
like, on Vecna, it's the case sometimes, but like, I mean, he's both of these just give you a flat buff to your power.
Yeah,
But,
no, that's
yeah.
that's fine. I think her best add-ons are greens and yellows, or greens and blues, whatever. Like the best ones are honestly definitely Festering Carrion, Velvet Fabric, Severed Hands, Severed Tongue, which are those are like purples. I hate baby shoes. Hate.
I
hate
think
baby
a lot
shoes.
of artists main trade baby shoes.
Yeah, I think most of them dislike baby shoes. It's just like such a like no brain add-on. It doesn't ultimately help you, but make you very lazy. You know.
Yeah. I can see that in a playstyle which you're just not paying attention to the game and just like hold W, M1, and M2. Just like don't pay attention to what's going on. I can see that coming into play.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a good way to play her.
Yeah.
To be quite, I mean, who am I? But you know, I don't think that's like a good way to play her at all. And then I mean, there's like you have the stat effects ones, but I mean, the top hemorrhage and thingy got nerfed. And then you have this one. I think it's called automatic drawing. Was get like the hinder and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like those. I think they're very unfun. Because you could like run that and rapid, and you never have to use your birds for what's it called, damage or anything, which is a play style, sure, if that's your thing, you know. But is it fun? Is it interactive? No.
I wish Silver Bell had a long linger. I really like the concept of Silver Bell. Like, it doesn't have much use like on range or in recon because you're across the map and it's only like 8 seconds.
Exactly.
Or
I mean, you're not there
with
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're really close enough for then I mean they're gonna know where you are. So
yeah,
there's a lot of things that don't make a lot of sense for like most builds. And personally, I am a perk enjoyer. Like I love things like, not necessarily just for her, but I love perks like enduring and brutal and agitation stuff like that. I will not run those on artists except agitation. Agitation is great. But so I love the ones that shave a little bit off the cooldown or make it thick tar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Of course, you have Severed Tongue is insane right now, and I'm very glad.
Yeah, I love Severed Tongue.
Yeah, it's great. It feels good, doesn't it?
It does.
If you like, the top ones are definitely Festering, Velvet Fabric, Tongue and Hands, and some of them have their uses, but it's not something I'd run over those, you know?
Low key.
Especially Charcoal Stick.
Low key. Make Severed Tongue base kit.
I've seen a lot of people say that. And I don't know how I feel about it.
I think it would be a harmless buff and would help her out a bit. If it's the only thing they did, I would say it's fine.
Interesting. I really don't know how I feel about it. Because the thing is, if you run Severed Hands and you don't know what you're doing, then there's no point. You know what I mean?
I think I said tongue.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you?
I said tongue.
Oh my god, I suck.
You're good.
Well, they did, so that's great. So then we agree. Okay, no, I thought you said hands. My bad.
I mean, hands would be nice too, but I see why it's not like.
But like, I've actually seen people say that, and I'm like,
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but it's not something I'm going for.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. That's a good way to put it. But tongue, 100%. But they did, so I'm very happy about that. Yeah. No, I'm like genuinely like the first time. Like my friend texted me and he was like, "Bessie, I think they made Severed Tongue base kit." I'm like, "What do you mean?" So we hopped into a custom, and I posted this on Twitter as well, and I said some very out of pocket things. But mind you, this killer had been bugged for like 2 months, and then we come back to the PTB. We come back to the PTB, and she feels so incredibly smooth, and I'm huh? What did they do? And they did it, freaking crazy bastards, and they just didn't tell anyone about it. So a lot of people thought it was like not intended, but it was, and I'm like, thank you, Father, thank you. So yeah, great news, they did. So we don't need severed tongue base kit anymore.
I mean, it's like still minus 0.5.
Yeah.
Give it a new effect and just make her not get any slowdown.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would never be opposed to that.
Number two,
you know, if she looks at a survivor, make them explode. That's how we should buffer. If they just explode on impact with birds. Just here.
Explosive
just go freaking. To go explode. Yeah, exactly. Remember when? Well, not remember because I wasn't around for that. But when Huntress's hatchets would make like a big boom exploding sound.
I think I heard of that. I think I heard of that.
Yeah, like do that, but like with birds.
Make birds homing on survivors.
Yes.
Targeted missiles.
I mean, technically they are missiles. Like I say that she's the only killer in the game that actually has a shotgun. Or a sniper. Or an assault rifle. You know. They say give killers a gun. I say play artist.
Anyway,
yes.
Do they have?
Sorry,
No, you're
losing focus.
I have 5 add-ons.
Oh yes,
that's it.
Yeah. No, like the number tweaks and the stuff like that. Like nothing useful. Like actually meaningful changes to his kit.
Yeah, he has one unique add-on that's actually solid. It's Field Recorder. It gives you Nightfall at the end and at the start, and causes people to get exhausted when they break Remnant. I love add-ons rewarding you for being ass at the game. That effect is useless. Only the good puns are like the Nightfall ones.
Yeah, that sucks. Because add-ons can be like such a detriment to certain killers.
I wish Sacrificial Knife activated outside of Nightfall, because it blocks windows when you emerge from a locker. And it only does that in Nightfall. And if it did it in daytime, it would be a great add-on for getting rid of the God Pallets, I would say.
Do you think that would be too strong? To just kind of like have it on demand? I
don't know, because like leaving a locker takes a bit of time. So if you're not a live brain, you would either get hit already, or you have way more than enough time to run away from a tile if you just teleport to a locker to block all the windows. Okay. So it would be would be a very strong add-on, but I wouldn't say it's problematic.
Okay. Well, because again, like being strong is okay.
Unlike that Lapis Lazuli for Dracula, I think. Like the add-on that blocks the windows with bad form, I would say that's a bit overtuned, because you don't have too much like you can be like you can direct after teleporting and instantly get on top of a survivor. With Dredge, you have to walk towards them. Right.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair. I wish there was like more, again, consistency in add-ons across the board, because I mean we just got like the huge Pyramid Head add-on rework, of course. And I wish it was just a little bit, more like that for everybody, like something unique, something different. Maybe they're working on it. I don't know. I hope so. But the one time they tried to tinker with her add-on.
Yeah, that PTB was something.
That nightmare, actual freaking nightmare. The fabric 1.8 seconds. Are you kidding me? But I wish everybody was more like Pyramid Head add-ons. This color is actively getting out of A tier by the community perception. I wonder what we could do to make them a bit better. Eurifra, let's remove all of her add-ons. Very real. Very. My name is
John
real.
Behavior, and I know what I'm doing.
My name is John Behavior. Everybody gets the fucking chop. Very glad they didn't go through with that. Yeah. Did they, when Dredge got a buff, did they change any add-ons, or have these always been the same?
They made they halved every effect that was made into the base kit. Like They made like half base kit, half in the add-on. They didn't rework a single add-on.
Just make up for the difference then.
Yeah, there was no add-on rework at all, which is still crazy to me.
So I have a question.
Go on.
If you could have like an ideal Dredge add-on, regardless of like strength and stuff, what would it be?
Oh, I love this question. Let me pull up my document of suggested Dredge changes. 1 second.
Oh my god, fucking nerd.
Leave me alone.
No, I respect it. I love when people are passionate about things. I love when people are passionate about their killers, especially.
Okay, I found it. Okay. It's an idea for a rework for Destroyed Pillow. Destroyed Pillow reduces the cooldown of like Nightfall. Like reduces the cooldown of the power in Nightfall, which is pointless because the cooldown is 4 seconds and most of your cooldown will be in the weapon wipe animation. So what's the point? To just make it like 1 second. Anyway, my effect for it is reduces the duration of the cooldown of a successful basic attack hit within 3 seconds after teleporting to the remnant during Nightfall by 20%.
Interesting.
So you get like a mini stibble for first-thing remnant hits in Nightfall.
You get rewarded for
Yeah.
playing well. I like that. I like that idea. I love an add-on that rewards you for making a play, and not one that rewards you for being shit. Baby shoes. Okay, I like that. I could get behind that. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Behavior, please. Get on this.
Get to it. Okay. Do they have any niche counterplay that many people aren't aware of?
Yeah, I think for her, like W key is definitely the biggest. However, I would say you can definitely play loop. You can 100% with her, but have the perception that W key is like all you need to do. But the thing is, unpredictable pathing and stuff like that is the biggest counter for artists at a loop, especially if she can't see you. You know, don't stand at check spots. That's like a mistake that you make because check spots very easy to swarm, very easy.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's my advice for people to like, start with artists, because survivors are going to hold their check spots in the corner. Like they're always going to do that until they notice that you can hit them in the corner, you know? So stand away from the corner. If you're like at a jungle gym or whatever, stand behind the wall, stand away from it's going to send the birds at a corner.
I mean, counterplay is always like, you have to also know your opponent. Like if they're not if they're not swarming check spots, then there's no point.
No, that exactly, of course. Like just in the like for me, because I do swarm check spots because I know that survivors are going to stand there. You know, next time they don't do that and running, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm gonna like try to track better. I'm gonna try to listen out for their footsteps where they're going, and then set up my bird to predict that way.
I feel like especially with our characters that are like, as we established, I think already have are among the highest skill force in the game. It's hard to identify what the killer is capable of. So
yeah, for sure.
Also with Nemesis, for example, sorry for cutting you off, but like a good example is Nemesis. You play completely different against a killer that doesn't whip drag.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. 100%. Yeah, absolutely. And I would say what I see in my games is that people really don't double back enough. So I've gotten like a little bit complacent and lazy sometimes where I just expect them not to. So I like default to like let's say like I point a bird at a pallet and I'm not patient with it. I'm not waiting. Opponent is doing and I just fire it and I'm like, well, they double backed and I'm missing and they keep double back and keep missing, you know? A little bit like that because again, like unpredictable pathing. You need to be unpredictable. Don't just hold W key. We've been over that. You know, if I'm not plopping a bird at a pallet, you don't need to W key against me all the time because I know how to predict where you're going and you're still gonna get hit. So I wouldn't say it's like very niche. I think that's just maybe like the majority of the survivor base being like very casual players. Because I mean, I think we get like a little bit to creators or like the standard of DBD players, and they're definitely. So I get like a little, in my head about that sometimes, but yeah, double backing and being unpredictable. And I think a very niche one is if this kind of like is, I think it's like a bit of a 50-50, but if there's a bird in the palette, I think it's okay to take them sometimes. Most artists aren't going to adapt really quickly to you taking a bird and then like being able to like switch behind them and then get the follow up,
Yeah.
unless they have it set up. But most people aren't going to do that. I've clips of what I'm like trying to say. Like when people say like, "Oh, steal the birds," etc., etc. But I use maybe 2 birds maximum in chase, and if somebody's and I like whip my freaking bird neck around, and I set one of them up, like I'm still gonna get that hit. But a lot of people don't do that. So you kind of like, sometimes it's okay to just take the bird and just take the swarm. You just have to know how to play it after that. If you take the swarm and then you gotta like double back a little bit and be unpredictable and not hold W, they're gonna hit it. But I think people are very, very afraid of M2. Like I'll see it, like the survivors will like zone themselves with this. I'm like, just take the M2, bro. I'm grinding for.
What I'm going to say might be an ick, but I used to main a bit of Scrummershna because before she got gutted, and I think it's similar with just taking the claw trap when you want to reset your stacks.
Yeah.
Like
no, that's exactly That's not an ick. I used to play a lot of Skull Merchants.
Okay, base.
Yeah, no, I think she was actually a lot of fun at some point. Not like the first hitter.
Yeah, 2.0 was like.
Yeah,
very
I think
fun.
she was a lot of fun. Yeah,
and very niche.
But no, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, no, for sure.
With Dredge, I would say like the most niche part is, I guess, not engaging the killer. Because like the main, like the strongest way to avoid, like to play against Dredge is to avoid it and keeping your distance. So like if you don't engage the Dredge, then you should be fine. But like if you're forced to actually like be in a chase, listen to your audio. You can hear when they place down the remnant. Always remember when the remnant is. I see a lot of people just don't remember when where you placed it.
Yeah.
As we mentioned earlier, play weird. If they expect you to go for the, I had this one add-on that like absolutely destroyed me. I placed the remnant on one side of a tile, and he just like went around it. Like he went around the remnant and got the stun on the pallet.
That
he just went. Me. Yeah, like I placed the remnant. He like just behind it.
What a Chad.
Went around.
You can't be mad at it, man.
You cannot be mad at it because it's so skillful.
Yeah, because I like that. I wish I got like survivors like that. You know, people who think and don't just light brain because they see bird coming.
I think the most niche thing you can do against a Dredge is you can save someone from a locker that's being grabbed by the teleport if you use a flashbang. Because there is timing to it, and you cannot do that with flashlight, but you can get a flashbang save. Since it triggers instantly, unlike a flashlight.
Have you had it happen a lot?
Never.
No.
But also made a YouTube shorts about it, so it's kinda known by some people, so maybe one day I'll be shit on.
I hope so. Just kidding.
Okay!
Listen, I think getting shat on sometimes is good for the soul.
Yeah. It builds character.
Exactly. It makes you stronger at the end of the day, you know? You and your little fart club. Because God knows I've been shat on. Like a bird.
Wow.
Like a pigeon.
How did past patches and behavior treat the killer?
Well, she hasn't had like any meaningful changes since they took away Lightburn.
I'm looking at the changelog in the wiki. It has one patch listed.
And that's Lightburn, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Lightburn.
Yeah. I think behavior often like just forgets about her. Just to be fair, I started playing definitely not on release. It was like end of 2023 is when I like really started like picking her up and trying to learn her. So I don't necessarily know what to play on release, and stuff like that. But she has legit like just been forgotten by behavior, it seems, which is really odd because I mean, obviously she gets like the good skins and stuff like that.
She gets
and
so much skins.
yeah, and which I love because I love a little fashion show, of course. But she
nice.
has not had any changes. I think they just, I don't know. I don't think they really know about her. And then the proposed change from the B,
Gulp.
Gulp. See, like with that, it just gave me the impression that they don't really know about her. It's strange because they designed her. You know what I mean?
I mean, with designing characters versus how they're actually played, it's like sometimes out like
Yeah.
you make A,
Yeah.
but the community uses it in a way B that's way more strong and optimal,
Yeah, so they just kind of like gave me the impression that they weren't necessarily in tune with their artist players, which understandable because there's not a lot of us that like really are dedicated to her. But I don't know. I they said that they would like look at her down the line. Listen, they will hear from me. You've better not touch my girl and mess her up. But I have no clue, man. I don't think they know she exists at this point.
Okay. Do we
I mean, Dredge got
count?
some love.
He did. Do we count bug fixes after launch as changes, or do we not count that? Really?
Do we count what?
Like, do we count like changes in a bug fix in the same patch that character released as like changes? Because like technically it's like polishing the character.
No, I don't think that really counts. No, because you haven't had
He
like
got one
time to
patch.
like develop it. Yeah. Well, and that was the recent one.
Yeah, that's
that's
8.2.0 with the actually making the killer playable.
Yeah, well, at least you got that.
Yeah.
I guess.
At least I can play the killer.
Okay, so I have a question.
Go for it.
And it's just out of curiosity, but if he is so tough to play all of the time, what is it about him that you like that still like keeps you going back to him or it whatever to the killer?
Remnant and the character, like lore and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Like, I just love playing with like like my favorite thing about DBD I think is the mind game.
Mm-hmm.
Like Battle of the Brains. This is literally encapsulated entirely in this character.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
I mean, also like he's tough at the start. I don't think he's like tough when you get your like shit together. I would say he's inconsistent sometimes, but it's way better than you think it is. Like the community thinks.
I can definitely see that. It's just difficult to gauge the community, because there are like very dedicated killer players like pick up a character and like do it properly, and then there's you have your beginners and your new players, you have your casual necessarily care about the best strategies or power use, but want to play, and then you have the ones that really want to win and they will just do anything no matter the killer win. I think it's like pretty difficult sometimes like gauge what the community thinks as well. Twitter is not the entire community. Definitely the most vocal ones.
I would say Reddit is worse.
Yeah.
Like, I think many people like I get the concerns, but I think many people are kind of overrating DBD Twitter in terms of like take quality. Because if you go to the forums or the Reddit, you're in for a wild ride.
Yeah.
I saw someone say that Wraith has the mobility of Kaneki.
Right. We're comparing Wraith and Kaneki.
Yeah.
I think I should log off for the day. There's a reason why I don't go on Reddit.
That was on the forums, actually.
Oh, that's even worse. You're supposed to know about the game if you go to the forums.
Again, it's so weird how like behavior considers these two parts of like social media as the most reliable source of like working on the game and taking feedback from.
But like what else would they?
Twitter. Like
yeah, but
say so much shit about Twitter. Essentially, that one DBD group on Twitter. Yeah. Yeah. But like the takes are way. The takes have way more like behind them than what's going on Reddit and the forums.
No, that is fair. At least they have like a thinking pattern.
Every time I like post a clip on Reddit, I get shit on because I use filters.
And then, meanwhile, you have motherfuckers on Twitter still using stretch res. We're cooked.
They use filters in a way that isn't like they use it for visuals. There's no way to get like advantage of the stretchers anymore. It's just like ugly shit filter.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's
absolutely crazy. I remember like a little while ago. I don't like to engage with the community tab of the DBD on Twitter. Gulp. But there was one, and I just had to say something. And then somebody said that Artist isn't a ranged killer. And they said that she was 95% zone, 5% area control. I said, sir, I'm gonna show you some stuff right now, and I'm gonna need you to like sit back and watch very clearly, and then tell me not a ranged killer. And he digressed. I turned somebody into an artist enjoyer. It just like takes like that where people don't, you don't know, and then they speak on it anyway. You know what I mean? Like that's just like a personal pet peeve of mine. Like if you don't know, then just be quiet about it.
Unless you're gonna... speech bubble, yeah.
Yeah, very that. But I don't know. I don't know which would be like the best representation of the community. It's just so vastly different, I think, is the issue with it. But I do think like Twitter has a decent amount of like honestly, casuals, streamers.
I would say Twitch is the best representation. I think.
But how are you going to gather all that?
That's not my problem.
I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. No, I mean, I don't disagree.
Listen, if DBD OSHA can go into streams and ask about like the standards of safety and review them, you, John Behavior, can go into the streams of people and ask about the character they're playing and if they feel nice.
Yeah, that's fair. That would be nice. That would also like be like a little bit more community build.
Yeah, it would feel more natural.
No, I can get behind that for sure. Yeah, you're right. You're right, or whatever.
Okay. How good is your power in cross-map range versus good survivors? Are there moments in which you feel powerless using it?
Only cross-map range?
This is specifically about range use of your power.
That's a good question. Because against good survivors, it can often feel like you don't have a power. And you have to, like, that patience that you need with her, it has tripled against good survivors. But they're gonna have all the strats, to render your power useless, basically. Like, because what I've had sometimes against, like, really good survivors, path so unpredictably that I have to, like, put up multiple birds. And then, so against good survivors, like, they will predict or they will path so unpredictably that I will have to put up multiple birds. And I wouldn't do 3, but I would do, like, 2, and then already my cooldown is going to be too long for the follow-up.
You have to hit a direct hit, yeah.
Yeah, unless I have to, like, I can force them to reset their swarm, which can't always do, and kind of also depends on being out in the open and stuff like that. Or they will have, like, their little buddy behind them ticking up all my birds, because, if one of them is taken, if you have, like, one set up and it's taken, and then you only have 2, so you either got to be, like, super precise in hitting them and taking the chase there, or you're crowless. You got no crows. That is very difficult. So against good survivors, like, the zoning definitely comes in, like, the zone into M1. Which I genuinely hate playing that way, and I hate facing it. It's just incredibly unfun, incredibly skillless. But you kind of have to, because they're gonna know. They can see your birds also, and they're gonna have that, like, reaction speed to react to those, and they're gonna be able to read me better than the average survivor player. So that she definitely really struggled to survive.
Yeah.
And then cross mapping. It kind of depends, because I've had, like, really, really tough chases against certain survivors, but then I can, like, more easily cross-map them. Maybe because they can't see me and can't read me. They can see the birds, obviously, but sometimes you are in the correct position, or there's like no lockers near or whatever. But it's definitely very difficult. Good survivors, you're gonna like literally have to just zone into the M1, or try and go for the direct hits.
Well, with Dredge, I would say like if mid-place, I would say like there's not much you can do in daytime. Because like there are those like what I call melee teleports, which are just like accurate daytime accurate like teleports. Like you exit the locker and you're on top of the survivor, you know. Against good survivors can be a bit tricky. You mostly want to do these teleports outside of line of sight so they cannot see what you're doing. But like if someone has experience, you kind of have to depend on Nightfall carrying you while you're using your teleport mid-chase. That's why a lot of people say to not use teleport in daytime in chase, which I vocally disagree on, because I am the living example that you can do it. But like, yeah, it's like it can be inconsistent, and mostly you should just try to like close the gap and use a remnant more.
Yeah,
this is good
I feel
survivors.
like this is the case with like most killers on the roster. To be fair, I think there's only like a couple killers that can over good survivors that like kind of do everything right, and then maybe like make a tiny slip up and then GG's. Like I mean, obviously Nurse, like they can really cap. I feel like the killers in tiers below that just don't really have that ability,
Yeah.
Especially on killers that already are like fairly punishing to begin with.
Trapper is fine because he has haste in his kit.
Oh my god, don't even. Don't even. Poor little Evan. Poor little strong Evan.
Okay. Okay, this is a really simple question. I will probably have to explain it more, but did they dodge or did you miss?
Good question. They missed. No, I missed. I missed. I think.
Because
wait, I like this.
The meaning behind this is like, if you're like playing your power, is it on you that you failed to use it correctly, or did they outplay you?
I would generally say I miss, because what I see in my game a lot is that people have no fucking clue. I had this insane game on ARP.
Yeah.
And you could tell that these guys don't face an artist often or at all. And then imagine like being one of your first experiences in an artist game being like a good artist, not to toot my own horn, but like a good art, You're gonna be like, what?
You're
the
way
fuck?
more than you're entitled to your horn. Don't worry about it.
Okay, okay, a little bit, just a little bit, because I mean I have put in like a lot of hours and stuff, and
yeah,
I know I do well generally. But imagine like your first experience with an artist being a good one. I had this end game. Do you see me when I have the birds on me? Like how did you know I was there? And I said, well, yeah, I can see you for a little bit if you. But I also have so many hours in this killer. I know where you went. I set up 2 birds, like a little barrel.
Pattern recognition.
Exactly, like with my little double barrel, like you're kind of like locked, because if you go forward, you get hit. If you go backwards, And I see that a lot. Like I'm like generally like a more the casual player. I'm not like too competitive or anything.
Yeah, I would say the same. Like I like to win, but I'm like not too sweaty.
You're not gonna like super go out of your way to win, right? Like I play more for like skill expression and
if an opportunity arises, like they farm in my face, then of course I'm gonna go for the vulnerable person. But like mostly I just like don't care.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. So I'm not like here like climbing in MMR.
Yeah.
Hence odds type survivors. Which, sometimes is very nice, but then I get like a lot of like people with half well, not even that. I do see that like fairly common, but like people with like below 1,000 hours. I'm like, okay, well,
like it feels nice to go against someone who's challenging you, but like
because otherwise you just get lazy.
Sometimes you need this like Timmy 24 coming home from his like middle school, hopping on his Xbox One, playing like Neon Adam with like autodidacts.
And technician.
Yes.
Exactly, but like the people that I like most often see in my lobby are like generally casuals. They're not bad by any.
Yeah.
I do
You
see
can
bad
be
players
good and
sometimes,
casual,
but
yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like they're not bad at all, but they're not like knowers of like every single counter and every like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's usually that I miss. I have like had a lot of moments like where I'm like if I had just waited, I would have hit that, you know.
Yeah, I would say similar a bit to me too. Like I mostly can recognize what could have done better, but I feel with Dredge there's a bit more moments in which they just dodge. But I would say it's still mostly you missing.
Yeah, I think with like Dredge, you also get like more space to do it. I would. Does that make sense? I don't know how I'm trying to.
I think I know what
I
you
don't know
mean.
how to word this. I feel like you have like a little bit more room and time to play around a remnant.
Yeah,
or,
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you're slower, so they have like a bit more wiggle room. Build up a strategy in their head real quick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, usually like with like rapid fire crows, like sometimes like even after that like ARP game, like I had a Meg and she said, "So this is just uncounterable." Like, sweetheart.
No.
very not very much so the but it's just that you don't know and nobody plays her, so you know.
They don't have the training, yeah.
Yeah, Dredge has like a lot of like more, not a lot of, but like more wiggle room in that sense, I think. Yeah. Interesting. I kind of want to like play a little bit more Dredge now.
Play the Dredge.
I might give it a shot. Next time you're around, do you want to like coach me?
Bet. So bet. I would be so down. I love coaching people. I have match reviews. You can send me in a match review. Ooh, I had like one.
Maybe I'll do that. Well, maybe I have number 2 soon. I love skill expression. That's it. Like my biggest reason to play killer. Like finding out. Like obviously there's some killers that are more skill expressive than others. But I think that almost pretty much everybody on the roster has some form, whether it's directly to do with the power or behind. Like mind gaming and stuff like that is also percent skill expression.
It is skill expression, but it's not clippable. You most of the
That's
time.
That's true. Yeah.
Like I think like the only thing you can mostly get clips on Dredge that's like compilation worthy and stuff, and like montage worthy is melee teleports, I think, because this actually like looks kind of flashy.
Yeah. Well, it's also like the thing with like Spirit. Like we know how much skill she takes, like tracking skill especially, but like it's just an M1 after all. Like on the clip, you know?
M1, yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about that. Like maybe that's why I don't see many Dredge clips. Artist is very clippable.
Yeah.
I have like 53 gigabytes of clips on my computer.
I'm doing my best.
Listen, I support it. I know you do. I'll hype it up anyway. I got you.
Thank you. On a scale from 0 to 10, how consistent is the killer?
That's a tough one. I would say a 5. Like what are we talking about consistency wise?
10 is it's always dependent on the 10 is you always have like it's always on you to win the game. 0 is you literally win on one map. Like how affected by RNG is your killer? Maybe that's a better way to put it, and rank it on like 0 to
10. That's a very tough one to answer. And I will still say it's like kind of in the middle because she is dependent on maps for sure. There's again like some that you can like play around, like personally RPD for example. But like not looking at somebody who's like a dedicated, I'd say it's like still in the middle because to be able to play around those like RNG factors and stuff like that, you know about the character.
I would give her like a personally. I would like give her like a 7, maybe 6.5.
You think so?
Yeah. I think the range factor is helping her in this department.
Definitely. That is very true. But then I think of like her consistency when it comes to power. Like it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Because I mean the hitboxes are still very skinny. Like the projectile killers are still like struggling with the hitboxes. There's like weird collision that is super map dependent. There's like sometimes
I think every projectile has like 2 hitboxes. Yeah. Like
and then
player and
sometimes
environment. Yeah.
And then I place a crow on the map like Macmillan and it goes onto rock, and I'm like, well, what am I gonna do with that? And now I have a fucking cooldown for no reason because that bird just went up on the rock for no reason.
But there could be a survivor there. You just need to open your mind.
Right. Survivors can fly now. 9.1.0 survivors can fly.
They fly now.
But like things like that I'm also taking into consideration. Are things you play around, but you need to be dedicated. Is my thing with it. That's like also that's why I'm like going a little bit on the lower side, because the power is just very inconsistent, and it also depends on like what kind of survivor you're facing. Like if you have somebody that just W keys and pre-drops every time, and you just put up a bird pointing towards the pal and they get a direct hit every time, that's very different than being in a chase with somebody that knows the aim spots and the shit like that.
Yeah,
I would say she's not like across the board not very consistent. Like there's killers that you can get like a super consistent result with every time. I don't think she's one of those, to be honest.
I personally would give Dredge like a 6. Because like there's way more than people give you, like make you think that is like on you. But like there's just like some aspects like perks like anti-heal completely deleting your nightfall pressure most of the time, and like exhaustion being annoying like life. There's a lot of factors, but like I think you're mostly on a positive like ratio of like bad versus good.
That's good at least.
Okay.
And
before
I think also
go on. Yeah, but I was switching topic. Yeah.
I think also because there's less depth to his power. Not saying there's no depth, not at all. There is also
I get
just
it. Okay.
less room for things like
innovation.
Yeah, and there's also just less room for inconsistencies like a projectile killer has. I would say so. But that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, before we go to your questions, this is my last one. How buggy is your killer?
As fuck.
I mean, it's a bad question to ask in dispatch, but
as fuck. No, generally, like if we're looking at like the whole picture, she's not that buggy. It's just that like she really broke after the Orvella patch, and there were so many things wrong with her, and then
like
she was fucking exactly, like everybody was broken, and then we had the anniversary. She was crashing anniversary queues, and then
that was a thing.
Yeah, that was a thing. Luckily it was only a day. Like they fixed that really quickly, but like she was crashing the event queues, and then right now like they definitely fixed her major bugs, but her swarm desync, like the delayed thingy, it's gotten worse again. She definitely doesn't have like the worst end of it all. Like, I mean, Twins exists, which I'm also an enjoyer of, so fuck my life. And Plague exists, which is like my second main, so fuck my life.
I feel so bad for Maggie. Maggie.
Me too. Oh, pour one out for Maggie, everybody. She's definitely like not the brunt of it all, but like something like it's very frustrating. It is like just the fact that like the past couple of months in this year that she has gone from like in a good spot to there's something wrong with her every time.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's like gulp. Gulp
maxing.
Gulp maxing, yeah. This playing art is gulp maxing.
The thing with Dredge is that like there is not much that you can break, but they still somehow succeeded in doing so.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, I saw something on Twitter like yesterday or something that somebody teleported to a locker that a survivor was in, but the survivor was able to get out.
Yeah, that was the dead man's clip. Yeah, I just was
I don't
stunned for
remember
like
whose it was,
I was
but
like
yeah.
stunned for a minute. Like, how the fuck did that even happen?
Oh, it's crazy. Like, what are you even talking about? Like, how does that happen? You got one job, you know.
The code that made Billy's chainsaw down people in one hit now makes Hag like fly across the map.
Yeah.
That's the type of like how did it take us so long to get to such a strong like such a bad state of the game, and they still didn't do anything about it, like in terms of like recoding the fundamental.
Yeah,
Like, because they said that like they cannot really do anything with the fundamental code of the game. Proposition health patch, like we asked you for 9 years and you still didn't give us it, because I am 100% sure that all of the changes from the quality of life initiative, they would be added anyway without like an initiative announced. Mm-hmm. They would 100% just do that in like normal mid chapters. I am convinced.
Yeah. Like, I can't even, like, at this point, I don't even have words for it. I'm like, well, we'll just see whatever, you know, when the next patch comes out. I can't bring, well, no, let me figure out how to phrase this. It's not like I can't bring myself to care anymore. I do, but it's just so exhausting. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like playing and streaming this game for a living, you know, like, I just gotta power through that shit, man. You can't let it get to you too much, because you just, you know, like, if you get in your head about DBD too much, you start to spiral. Or at least I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just, you know, it is what it is. I try to just say it is what it is. It is what it is.
Anyway, we got through my questions. If you have any questions that you have prepared for today, you can ask away.
I had them, but I think we kind of like, it was like, I think they've definitely been answered.
My
questions
answered your questions.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it was, I mean, it like turned into like more of like an open conversation, you know, that's, you know, that's kind of, so definitely, I think, hold on, let me look up my notes real quick. And I think we've talked about literally everything that I have made a note of. Yeah, we've literally talked about everything that I've made.
Yes.
So good on us. We did well. We did well on the yapping for 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Oh my god, I have so much stuff to do. To see you fucking yapping for 2 hours. Oh my god.
Anyway,
yeah.
I think this is going to conclude our meeting. If you want to like show off your links and like everything, you can just like, here's your like space to advertise whatever you have going on.
Whatever I have going on. Well, again, I play a lot of artists. I do on my Twitch channel, AlizeFromHell. I'm very active on Twitter, and I post like a bunch of clips as well, and you know, my general thoughts in life. Also on AlizeFromHell, I do a little bit of TikTok sometimes when I can be arsed with it. AlizeFromHell TTV, and that's about it. Everything is at AlizeFromHell. Thank you so much.
Of course. And thank you to our audience for watching. And I think we gained a lot from this conversation, and we learned a lot. So again, thank you for showing up, and thank you for accepting this invitation. And
thank you for having me. I enjoyed it. That was fun.
Yeah.
I love yapping.
True. Yeah. I think that's gonna be it. Goodbye, Internet.
Goodbye, Internet.